Hello everybody, Marty the off-grid gecko here, and I did a little walking around the property today and I found me a flower. This is, I believe, called an Ozark Shining Star, and when I was walking around I was finding all kinds of interesting plants today, but this one sort of stuck out to me and I looked it up and had to identify it. So that's like an hour of Google searching and looking through pictures to try and find something that matched what I had on my phone. I also posted a picture on Instagram. So these guys have these really showy little flower heads up here at the top, and these are kind of droopy. They're growing like right next to the creek bed, so they've probably been run over by a couple floods. There's a few clumps of them down there, so I tried to not take too much out. So I grabbed like a little side portion of one of the clumps, dug it out and pulled it up, put it in a big old bucket here. The thing that struck me really interesting about this plant, and this isn't a very good example, but let me get this out of here. The stems, when they dry, so obviously this plant is perennial in this climate, because I can find these little dead stems down there, and it's like it's growing back, I think, from the same root clump. I'm not really sure. But these stems are very thin and they're incredibly woody. So when you've got one in a whole circle, it's almost like a little bone at the bottom. They're hollow all the way through. Might come in handy for something whenever the stems die back and they start growing their pods for next year and they dry out. You might be able to harvest these, use them for something. I don't know, it just seemed kind of interesting to me. And they've got these really brilliant showy flowers, which like I said, they look a little droopy on this one. The one out by the road looked a little better, but I didn't want to pluck anything from it because it seemed like it was happy where it was growing. That door's going to annoy me. Yeah, so I figured I'd add a little color to the garden. The flowers are like a blue-purple, kind of whitish. They're real pale. I don't know if that's indicative of the species or not, but according to what I could find, these guys are super hardy. They'll grow almost anywhere unless you try to pamper them, and then they'll die because they don't like being fed lots of fertilizer and special. They're not a special needs plant. They're a leave me alone, let me grow kind of plant, my kind of plant. And this is also in the same family as dogbane and milkweed. So if you pluck one of these leaves off, then this thing will exude like a latex, a white latex sap, and so that's kind of cool. It's nothing you'd want to eat though. Usually these plants that are in this family are all toxic. They have toxic alkaloids in them and stuff like that. Kitty, quit photobombing the picture. And yeah, so if I can get these guys to survive for a little while in this pot, then I may go ahead and collect the seeds, because apparently they're really easy to grow from seed also. So that might be something interesting that I can do. I don't know. Just thought it'd be kind of a cool experiment. Bring some of these guys up here and see how they do on the top up here instead of down there in the swamp. And I've never seen any kind of flowers like these before. They're really interesting, and I just want to see if I can keep them around. They're also good for repelling like rodents and stuff, because you definitely don't have to worry about the deer eating these. They'll get sick, and they probably know enough by now to avoid them. And like I said, species of dogbane, so this pretty much make any animal sick that tries to eat it, like most common flowers these days. But yeah, thought they were kind of neat, and I'm gonna give them a shot. And I'm gonna feed these cats before they go completely insane. Yeah, that's it. Quick garden update. Getting some flowers. We'll try them out and see if they live. I know this isn't my normal wild plant kind of thing, but you know, it was something cool. I walked today for like 3 hours, just around the top here, around the bottom, down by the creek, and everywhere. Just walking all over the property, looking for new species, and keeping an ear out for bees. And you know, it was a pretty nice, relaxing day. So I can go back to work tomorrow now. I'll talk to you later. Bye.